Hey, it's time for another Fuuto PI review where we all get points.
I think I deserve the points because I was correct.
Hey, I also
You just hopped on the bandwagon, alright? Back off.
I initially said the theory.
No, no. I called that it was the second place gamer, and that basically is what they have said.
Technically not second place, but the idea is there.
They have not named an actual place, but the implication is most definitely there.
Okay. Okay.
I get the point, sir.
We're going to have to rewatch the tapes, but I deserve points too.
For hopping on my bandwagon.
And for guessing for being 10% right with something else down the line.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'll have to wait and hear this explanation. I
Yeah.
need to see how you spin this to give you points.
So the episode begins.
Mr. Jones.
Oh my god, no. I was just like, wait, was that a Counting Crows reference? And then
That was the furthest thing from my mind was Counting Crows.
But whenever I hear, like, Mr. Jones, like, that's the first thing I always think about.
I'm pretty sure that has not ever played on that show either.
Oh my god.
Actually, you know what? I'm kind of surprised it wouldn't, considering it would just inflate the ego.
Enough of that. We're talking about Fuuto PI.
A series I was tricked into watching and then told, surprise, it's a Kamen Rider show.
Hey, a lot more drama this week.
I guess?
So, the episode begins with Ryu Tui beating up some thugs who are trying to use a beast memory when he gets a call saying there's a new dopant in town.
Oh, can I ask something? I'm kind of gonna like jump all the way to the other end of this episode for a second,
Yes.
but did they literally just spoil who he was in the after credits?
Yes, but if you watch the opening, you're able to piece two and two together.
Alright, I wasn't studying the opening particularly after the first time, but okay.
Okay, because the all red Kamen Rider is there, and then you see Ryu a lot in the opening.
So I'm kind of pointing out in the way that, who was it? It was Tokime that was in there that says, like, you just turned into a motorcycle, so why are you called a rider?
Don't question me.
And I have to sit there and be like, wait, did you just, like, expose his henshin to everyone to see?
Maybe. I'm not too sure how public he is with his identity, or if like, people do know who he is.
I mean, here's the thing, right? If he is, kind of surprising people aren't just targeting him left and right. If he isn't, he's hiding it way better than Shotaro is, with his giant Kamen Rider faced bike.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh yeah, Kamen Rider, because you got that stupid flip phone. Cool.
Yeah. I believe his is the horned beetle. Wait, is it Kugawata? No, Kabutomushi. Because Kugawata is the stag beetle, Kabutomushi is a horned beetle. Those beetles with like the big T-shaped horn.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's what his phone resembles when it's in, I believe it's called live mode.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's taking down some guys who have a Gaia memory. What was it this time?
Beast.
That's what it was, Beast. So I've got a question.
Yes.
if you input the beast and the star memory, do you become a wolf who's very sexually aroused half the time?
Do I eat it or do I fuck it?
Yeah, which one? Is that what happens? I need to know. Like,
uh,
Shotaro shoves Beast in there, Phillip throws in the star, and all of a sudden you just have a wolf in a sweater vest,
Legoshi.
and you have Tokime just sitting there like, what is this? Why do you have a tail?
Akiko screaming, I haven't heard about this!
Just really hope no one's in a bunny outfit near you.
So, cut back to the hospital, and Mikano is saying that she knows the identity of Meganiora. His name, his screen name is Murder, and he's a gamer.
Points. Shower me with the points.
Who uses very underhanded tactics.
So the way it's described is it's exploits that he uses, which technically is legal, even if it is a... I'm not sure how it is in the FTC, like in the fighting FTC, the fighting game community.
I thought it said cheats and exploits.
That was getting to that. I was going to say, I don't know how they tend to feel about exploits, which, are in the game and are unpatched at that point. But as far as I'm concerned, from my point of view at least, would be fair game. Using the active cheats, though, yeah, that's going to get you shit canned out of there.
Yeah, and just going back to exploits for a minute, like speedrunners, they use exploits all the time. So I could see using exploits, but cheats and exploits, yeah, then you're a piece of garbage.
Yeah, the exploits, unless specifically told that, yeah, you're not allowed to do this, whatever, cool, you can do it. It's in the game. But yes, cheats, no. Cheats will get you kicked out immediately. So the question then becomes, one, how the fuck did he get up there without getting caught for that stuff when he, goes up against Megu in that little tournament or whatever it is? And then the next question is, how the fuck did he put the cheats into the game?
I don't know.
Because all we saw was them get up, sit down at the thing, play the game. I don't know where he input these cheats.
Maybe, and I'm not too sure about this because I only read the first arc, which was, I would say, like 90% similar to the manga. Maybe there's like a little bit of explanation in, oh yeah, in it, he like brought over a...
Oh, you just slipped in a flash drive, you didn't see it.
Yeah, maybe something like he used a flash drive with his character on and his character's modded or something like that.
It's arguable that he could have, like, augmented some armor or something in the game with, like, a cheat code installed or something into it.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there's something like that. That's arguable, but I don't know. It just kind of seems like you load in your character like you would on an MMO, and then you go in for the fighting game part of it. That's kind of the way it seemed to be shown, at least.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough semantics with how this guy who supposedly cheated but maybe didn't because we didn't see it.
Yeah. Everybody in the audience was like, you're cheating! You suck! So, Megu beats his ass because
she got serious.
She's the programmer. She knows the game inside and out. And
which is arguably cheating in its own right.
Yeah. You know what? That kind of is.
Like, you know exactly how the game works and how it's played. You know all of the exploits.
But you probably know all the combos, too.
Yeah, you know the exact combos that you would need to input that would chain together perfectly, leaving no openings for the enemy to get a hit in. Like, you know them back and front because you fucking programmed them.
Yeah.
But, nobody knows that, because Megu's just Megu. She's no one else. But, she wakes up, from her horrifying and traumatic experience of nearly dying, and then she gets told, you're going on fucking stage! Yes or no? By good old fucking Magi P. Best manager ever.
who is kind of shady here.
Yes, because even though we find out later that, he's not the evil villain, this seems very evil villain-esque for some, like an evil villain's kind of thing for some reason.
Yeah.
Again, do you care about your employee here at all?
Maybe he did it to draw out the actual person.
Yeah, but did he have to, get there and shout at her to do it or not? To make the decision?
Well,
Is that really necessary?
Probably not, but I think that may have been to throw us as viewers off. I know from a logical standpoint, from a real human standpoint,
From the I'm MagGP standpoint, and why would I do it this way? It makes no sense.
yeah.
He's kind of shown to be, not that much of an asshole. Yeah, the game is important and selling the game is great, but I feel like he actually does somewhat care about at least her, if not most of who works for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it like, I'm the character, and me doing this as the character with what I know seems like a dumb idea. You know what? Here, I'll give him one fucking fishing line here to, save himself, right?
Haha, fishing line.
The only thing I can think of that could possibly be the motivating factor for him doing this would be that he knows somebody in that room is leaking information. And this is for him to try and confirm who it is.
Ah.
That's the only thing I can possibly think of that at least shows up in this episode that gives him even a minor chance of him being like that making any kind of sense.
Okay, I could maybe see that. But I think we're chaining the two mega scenes together.
We kind of are, yes.
Okay, but jumping back a little bit.
I was going to say, we kind of jumped ahead already when we jumped into the whole flashback with Mr. Murder.
Yeah. So, Tui, or Ryu, shows up and he gets introduced as part of the Fuuto Police Department, the Paranormal Crime Division.
I mean, I guess what else would you classify a guy in memory as, I guess?
Yeah. And
We don't even know what they are.
he's a Keiko's husband.
Yeah, the husband we've been hearing about for, 4 episodes now, finally makes his appearance?
Mm-hmm. And I did reread I believe it was chapter 8, which was the end of the first arc, and he does show up in the manga at the end of the first arc, so...
I believe you mentioned that during that. Also, I want to point out, I couldn't not look at him and say, oh, it's just like Yagami, with slightly longer bangs. He's got that hairstyle, it's that same similar color, and even his eyes are kind of like that squinty kind of eye.
Maybe?
Maybe a more adult Light Yagami.
One thing about his backstory is his parents and little sister were killed by a dopant. So he really doesn't like them.
So I've got a question.
Yes.
So I'm thinking about this because I'm thinking back to that very first point where he shows up in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And my thought is, right, why don't the ones selling these things just inject everyone they can find with a memory? Because if you do that, you're going to have a shit ton of people looking for another hit.
I'm not too sure if how many active dopants are there at once, because of course this comes from a kaiju or kaijin of the week series. So, but now that we're getting a little bit away from the formula of that, so maybe there's a few dozen active ones out there at once.
So here's what I'm actually asking, because I think you've kind of missed the forest for the trees here a little bit. I'm asking about the people that sell these on the black market. why don't they inject people left and right with them to get them addicted? Because it seems like after the first hit, you're instantly got that like almost nicotine-esque obsession.
Okay. Because I believe, and I might be misremembering this from the series, but there is a bit of a compatibility issue for it too.
Interesting, because that is not implied at all so far in this show yet.
And again, I may have missing like a point of it, but to the best of my knowledge, not everybody can become a dopant.
Okay. Again, I'm going only off of this show as somebody who has never watched this particular like series, so I can only go off what this show tells me. And that
Yeah,
show has not given me a good excuse as to why they wouldn't be doing that to make more money.
right. I could see that from where you're coming from.
Yeah, the only reason I can even somewhat, again, imagine this, the only devil's advocate here for not doing that is, maybe the cops might realize something's up. But I mean, when dopants aren't around, and when what's the guy's name? Ren, right?
Ryu.
Ryu. When Ryu is a thing that's just searching for this shit anyway, I don't think it really matters. They already know you're around and exist.
Yeah. And Gaia memory wounds cannot be healed by medicine, which
By normal medicine, which makes me wonder why, like, Phillip hasn't looked something up in his library, because I'm sure there must be something in that massive fucking library that could tell you, hey, this helps speed up the process a little.
yeah.
Also, the fact that, like, he had a literal fucking X carved into his back. I feel like that's gonna take a while to heal.
Yeah, probably Shotaro will be out of commission for the rest of this arc.
And then all of a sudden he'll be better.
Yeah.
Because a giant gash like that won't take,
Month.
months upon months to heal.
Yeah.
Let alone to be back in full fighting form. Because, I mean, depending on how long it takes, you're not going to be able to do your whole workout routine. And your muscles are going to wither away.
Yeah. So, Tokime wants to help in any way she can, and
No, fuck you, Phillip says. Fuck you, you're awful, this is all your fault.
yeah, Phillip is still pretty pissed at her.
Phillip is mad that his boy toy got hurt because of some girl that he's interested in.
Phillip is jealous.
Phillip seems to have a lot of emotions that he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Why do I feel this way? It's like I'm shut in a closet or something.
Oh, there are probably plenty of memes out there about Phillip X Shotaro.
Memes? I wouldn't say memes. I'd say there's plenty of hentai and goddamn doujinshi.
Maybe.
Guaranteed it's everywhere.
There's probably Kamen Rider Dosenshi out there.
Oh, there's no way there's not. I refuse to believe it.
Yeah. I mean, the series has been going on for like 50 years at this point. 51.
No. I want you to do it with the helmet on. Those bug eyes just get me every time.
So yeah, Murder is training or getting out his rage on random people online when...
Of course, a healthy way to take out your anger. Unlike actually trying to murder someone.
Yeah. When a man pops into his apartment somehow.
He looks so flamboyant and has fancy rainbow braids.
Yujiki Bando, the Aurora Dopant.
Now I have a question.
Yes.
Is he adhesive in any way? Because his last name is Bondo.
Didn't we have
Perhaps he has a 007 reference in there somewhere.
But didn't we have a Bondo in a recent anime we covered on Brandon's Discussed Anime?
Not that I recall, but maybe. I'm not going to deny that I might be forgetting a name.
Yeah. Because, like, Bondo, I'm just like, wait a minute, that sounds so familiar.
Couldn't tell you.
And he invites Murder to join his city. So,
Which apparently will make him stronger?
so this is a city of evolved Dopants?
That's what the implication seems to be. The question then becomes, how do they get in and out of it? Because
Uh,
clearly they can, but what makes it work that way? Because last time Road was able to do it. Also, question is Road already inducted into that or not? Considering he was able to go and come back freely.
I am not. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, I think this was during episode 2 when I pulled up the picture of Road and you said that Road, the picture I showed you, Road looked like he had a fanny pack.
Well, I believe that was on like the manga version. Yes.
So, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I vaguely remember what the villain's driver looks like. What if the quote unquote fanny pack was also a driver? What if down the line we have another Road?
Didn't I mention some? Well, I mean, you'd have to get another Road one because I'm pretty sure they broke that one.
Yeah.
Two, if it is a driver, I talked to you about this the last time when it came to this about what about them having those like as villains and whether or not they can mass produce them.
No, but I'm just saying that maybe not like mass produced, but maybe the villain group has like enough for a small amount that they would say, okay, you have proven yourself here. Here is your driver for you to not. But wait, if you directly inject it, then you would already have the mental deterioration. Why
Yep.
would you go back to a weaker form while keeping your
Well, that's the other question,
Hmm.
right? Because if you get the belt and it does protect you from the deterioration, uh, if you're already deteriorated, does it continue regardless of whether or not you're injecting it directly?
I
That'd be
don't
the next question.
know.
Or does it just, stop where it's at? Or can you even heal from it? It opens up a bunch more questions to do it that way.
Yeah, and I would need to look at the villain's driver from the original series to know more about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the one image you had shown me, I'm pretty sure it wasn't that detailed as far as like what it looked like.
Hmm.
I believe it was just a bulge there that kind of looked like a fanny pack.
Okay, okay. I was just guessing that.
That's fine. Spitball
Yeah.
all you want. You might
Uh.
eventually hit something.
Yeah. Yeah. Because at the point it's at, I think we might be getting. Well, currently another like 2 seasons because I think they're around chapter 120
hmm
ish. Yeah, but
Uh,
yeah,
so anyway, as they're talking, apparently someone tips off Mr. Murder that hey, the cops are coming because the cops have managed to track down his location in the meantime.
I think
And
we should continue this conversation elsewhere.
yes, where was that elsewhere? Was it perhaps the city that he mentioned?
It
No, I
seems,
don't think so. It was like in the woods or something, wasn't it? 'Cause
yeah,
that's where he got like the pills.
yeah,
Yeah, apparently during this conversation, Murder gets given some pills, and he's told, "Hey, next time you transfer." Actually, it was one. It was a singular pill.
yeah.
Next time you henshin, take this right before it. Might make you a little stronger. Who knows?
So yeah, cut back to what we were discussing earlier with Maji P saying, "Hey, you should do this. Go up on stage." So she runs off and she starts like contemplating like what should I do? And then because the 3rd year anniversary of the game is coming up and
Yep.
it's a big event, Megu should be there.
Gotta be there on that live stream tonight.
Yeah, so Shotaro shows up. and says like, "Hey," basically saying like, "Hey, like I've tracked down a lot of
You
lost."
should do what you want.
Yeah, like, hey, I've tracked down a lot of lost cats, and it always makes people happy. So you do what you want. You make people happy.
I don't know if it's insulting or not that he called her a cat. What if she's a dog person?
Maybe. So
And then Philip's back, or not Philip, and then Shotaro's back explodes into a gushing geyser of blood.
in a very comical fashion, like not serious though.
Because he's a moron who doesn't realize that maybe I shouldn't be walking right now.
Yeah, he's half boiled like that.
Yup, so Tokime's got to drag him back to his bed, probably fucking yell at him off screen, and then tell him, I can't fucking nurse you all the time, you moron. I gotta go be a detective assistant.
Yeah. So we find out that or is this after the no, this is
I think this is
before.
about the time where Philip is getting his little powwow with Akari.
Yeah. A Keiko.
The Keiko, sorry.
Yeah.
Where she's like, oh man, boys can have love relationships too. Heart face, heart eyes, it's a thing.
Heart fingers.
That, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I love this stuff. It's like my shoujo mangas.
And it's like, hey, that really helps me out. Now I know why I'm mad at her. But right before this, he was doing some research on Meganiora, and he couldn't figure out anything about gravity.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but he
was also thinking it was affecting like the mental perception too, I think you mentioned.
Yeah.
Which is something we mentioned in the last episode. I believe I mentioned it.
I have the quote here. Emotions and heart stuff can be hard to figure out. It's not like we can see them or anything.
I think my sound wave idea is still in play here, people.
And Phillip is like, wait, can't see it? That's it!
Sound waves can't be seen! I might have called it.
Maybe.
I will take more points, sir!
Points have yet to be given out on that because nothing has been revealed, but I will not deny you points.
Just counting my pot that I will soon pull into my pile.
Just like the quarter points I deserve.
Go on. I want to hear how you spin this. Go on, Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones and me tell each other fairy tales. Okay. So we find out that the leaker is a member of Team...
Whoa! Hold on, before we get there, there's something I want to point at. Yes. So after Tokime leaves Shotaro, she runs into Magi P in the hallway and watches him. His fingers are bleeding. He goes into a bathroom, bandages them up, comes back out. We never find out why he was bleeding, because the attention is then diverted to him being like, "Wait, you've realized there's a leak too," and them looking into that.
Yeah.
So we don't know why his hand was bleeding yet.
And I do not have a theory on that. Do you?
I've got nothing right now, because whatever it was happened between when it happened between the time that Tokime takes Shotaro back to like his room or wherever he's at. You know, whether that's in the hospital or what have you, I don't remember. And then sees him. It happens between those two times. Because from what I can tell prior to that, when he's telling her she needs to figure out whether she's going on or off stage, he doesn't have that problem right now, at that point. I forget, was he also there when Shotaro gave that advice or something?
He may have been in the background.
Hold on, I'm just going to quick scan through that scene.
I think he may have...
Nope, it's some other randomly suited person that's back there. Okay, so it's not him. Okay. So yeah, it's between him telling her she needs to figure out whether she's going to do it or not, and then Tokime running into him. It's in that time frame, which I would say, if I was going to take a wild guess, maybe a half hour at most. So something happened there that we're not aware of.
So it turns out that the leaker is the leader of Team Megu, who I was saying,
Specifically, the makeup and cosplay team that do her little henshin for
yeah.
her.
And I was saying that Mega Niora was was a member of Team Megu, so.
You are not correct.
Right.
That deserves no points.
Right, but there was a little bit of jealousy there with the leader of Team Megu saying, like, oh, like, she goes out on stage, but she doesn't appreciate everybody. Like, all this time and effort goes into her, but her heart's not into it, really. I forget how she phrased it.
I'm looking at it now. Hold on. Let's see here. Her exact quote is, because I hated her. She has the look, the popularity, everything. But she doesn't care about it. While I was forced to work in the wings, failing for years to break out, she gets to stand on the stage that the rest of us dream about. And so at that event, I realized that I could make him the vessel for my rage against Megu. Okay. So yeah, it's because it's not that she doesn't appreciate it, it's that she doesn't give a shit. At least to her, it seems like she does not want to be there. It's that whole clashing that Megu has had this entire time of, I'm doing it, but I just don't want to do it. I don't want to be out there, but I'm doing it anyway. Whereas she's like, I'll do it. I'd love to do it. Let me do it. I want to break out and be the star. But the star who doesn't give a shit, at least in her eyes, is getting everything that she wants.
And last week I was saying that very similar idea was why I thought that somebody from Team Megu was actually the dopant.
I mean, my only argument with that is that we have no way of knowing why they would give a shit other than, like about the game itself or anything like that.
Yeah. It's like, keep her as programmer, I'll be Megu.
Yeah. Granted, you were still wrong.
Yeah.
No points for you.
Oh.
No points for you. The point Nazi has said no.
Oh, man. So yeah, as she's changing, Murderer shows up. His name is
Murder.
Misatu Mihara. Yeah.
Also, how long was he there? Was he just watching her change? And even then, right? I'm pretty sure here's something, right? I feel like somebody could have been clever here, right? Whether that was Tokime or whoever, right? They could have been clever and said, do you really think we would have put the real Megu in a place where she could be found like this? Of course this is a decoy. And now you're here, and we can take care of you.
Ooh. That would have been smart.
That would have been smart now, wouldn't it? Because all he has to go on is the one thing.
Yeah.
And since they know where he's getting his information, they can still fuck him over with that by saying nobody but fucking Maji P or whatever would have known. Like, nobody else is aware of that.
But we don't know how long the woman has been feeding him this information.
Well, we know since whatever that event was, but she says she only just told him who Megu actually is.
Ah. Okay.
So again, you could have pulled the whole, that's a fucking decoy, you moron, and now you're right in our clutches. And thus, the real Megu can run away safe and sound and not have to worry. At least this time. If he would still get information from that girl later, then yeah, that it won't work a second time. But it would work the first time.
Yeah. So, Murder pops his pill and then henshins into Mega Niora. And he gains a new power.
He gains a random dragonfly head on his arm now instead of a hand?
And that can generate dragonfly larvae.
Yep.
Lots and lots of dragonfly larvae.
Yep. Also the fun part where, apparently they tear off women's clothing because fuck it, why not? We need more boobage in this shot.
Yeah.
More cleavage, please.
Yeah, and Tokume's top gets torn off.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying need more boobage in this shot.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens now. It's not like she already isn't wearing really anything to begin with. We need full bra now with, torn parts. Not like Megu doesn't have a boob window. We
So,
needed more boob.
so Meganior tells Megu, hey, where do you want to die? Choose a spot. And she's like,
Nope.
oh,
Can't choose spot. Want to live.
well then, I will choose for you the most visible part in the city.
Gotta make
Fuuto
it a
Tower.
real spectacle.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you to Fuuto Tower.
Meanwhile, Tokume's like, hey, you're not flying off with her. I'm gonna grab onto your foot. And for some reason, that's enough to make him fall and drop Megu.
Into the river.
Somehow, luckily, a river. Just so happened to be one right there.
So he just jumps down after them and is like, okay, I'm going to kill you right here now.
Good old Phillip manages to show up
Yep,
with a fancy new toy.
with his bodyguard, the Fang Memory.
Yeah, apparently. That's not a memory we were told about before. This is a new one. I wonder what this does.
And it allows them to fight together.
Question.
Yes.
Apparently this Fang memory was in like the little fucking device that was like a little T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently that was enough to literally sever his arm.
The Fang Memory is incredibly strong.
Yeah, but like being in that little thing, I wouldn't have thought it would have been enough.
I think it was Tokime that said, like, but where's Shotaro? Oh, Shotaro's right here.
Nah, man, we can just use my body, I guess.
Which I hinted at last time.
Should also point out that our little dragonfly boy here regrew his arm.
Yes, yes. So, Phillip henshins into Fang Joker, and the end of the episode.
So here's my next question.
Yes.
Why are we doing Super Saiyan power level bullshit here?
You mean like upgrade forms?
Yes, why aren't we just going to our strongest form right away and ending things?
There is a reason why they don't use Fang Joker a lot. Granted, this problem maybe has been resolved since they took an entire year in the original series to work through this, but it might be brought up next episode.
Alright. But that doesn't really change the fact that, like, we know they have stronger forms than what they've been using. That's already been kind of dropped on us in the previous episode.
So I don't know why they, besides for the one thing that may get brought up next time, why they don't immediately go to their strongest form.
That's always been a question for, like, Dragon Ball Z, and the same answer kind of applies of, like, well, the Saiyans like to test to see if you're worth it, basically. It's why you had the whole Goku doing, like, different levels of Super Saiyan over the course to be like, is this worth it? Is this enough? Nope, not worth it. Not good enough. Gotta get stronger. Need a new form. Oh, there we go.
And just like talking to Boo, this is Super Saiyan 1, this is Super Saiyan 2, this is Super Saiyan 3!
Well, yeah, and even then, right, like, Goku was at least somewhat aware of, like, alright, Super Saiyan 2 plus Vegeta is not enough. So I know that's not gonna work. He was Majin Vegeta at that point, and he still failed, even, like, blowing himself up to make that happen. And he still didn't beat Boo.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm pretty sure it's pretty much confirmed that Majin Vegeta is stronger than just straight Super Saiyan 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then the thing for Goku is like, cool, I didn't have to test it, but I can tell Super Saiyan 2 wasn't enough to take it out now. Have to go to 3. But if he hadn't seen that, obviously he would have been testing each one out. Hell, you see that in Super a hell of a lot if you recall, especially in that Tournament of Power.
Yeah.
Where he's bouncing around between different forms and be like, alright, let's try this out. Oh, cool. Whereas in other series, like, it doesn't make sense to me.
You just cut out.
Back.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to you that...
You wouldn't use your highest form immediately. like I said, was saying with Super Saiyan, like the Saiyans, it's just where's my challenge at?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's scale you to me and see where we land. Like with Gridman, they had a whole bunch of different bullshit getting in the way of it, which fine, I could kind of see that,
Uh-huh.
right? Like some like boars and stuff weren't there in the first episode. Other points they were too tied up to get to the fucking to get to junk to jump in the screen with them. You know,
Hmm.
they just need to be used elsewhere.
And then
In this so far, there seems to be absolutely no reason.
when they all came together for the first time, Junk froze up.
Yeah, there were extra reasonings for that at least, made sense as to why you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Whereas, again, in this, you don't have anything giving you an excuse.
Right. I'm trying not to reveal the.
I mean, you're only giving an excuse here for Fang, as far as I can tell right now.
Right.
Not for any other form.
No.
So yeah.
So yeah, Tokame has a radio show in the bonus feature.
Yep, kind of outs good old Ryu. I'm gonna keep calling him Ren until it sticks. Rats out Ryu that he's just apparently a motorcycle, and that's all he's good for.
Yeah,
And Ryu's not happy about that.
I'm not too sure if "Don't Question Me" is his catchphrase or not.
But what if Akiko questions him? Is that okay?
Oh, and this didn't get brought up, and this was the main series, so they just met slash didn't really have feelings for each other at this point. He calls her Chief. So I'm not too sure if he still does that after they're married or what.
I think I was accidentally pulling the cord on my my microphone, which might have been our cutout problems.
Ah,
I'm not realizing it.
okay.
Why does he call her Chief?
Because, I think it was because her dad was the chief detective at. Oh, I forget what detective agency Shotaro is at. So maybe it's just a sign of respect for her.
But she wasn't the chief. Her dad was the chief.
Yeah, so I haven't watched enough Double to exactly get into his thing. All I know is his parents were killed by the weather dopant, and that's about it. Parents and little sister, all dead.
By the weather dopant, does that mean it makes it rain frogs?
If I remember correctly, he had lightning, blizzard power, ice generation, intense heat. So
But does he make rainbows that turn people into snails?
No, this isn't heavy weather.
But is it a weather report?
No. Oh my god. So, I'm looking forward to Fang Joker next week and the fight with that.
I'm curious what Fang's actual power is.
Yeah. So,
Besides just, I'm strong.
yeah. We'll catch everybody next week.
Fortunately, I will still be here watching a Kamen Rider series.
Come on, dude. There must be some parts you like.
We'll see. I will reveal all at the end of this season.
Okay.
Is that fair enough to you?
Yes. Yes.
In the meantime, I will continue to complain.
Huh. Later.
Bye.